I know what you're thinking. Week 17 is coming up, and there hasn't been a single AFC slot decided yet. What's going on? Find out now. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and we are here today to talk about Week 17. And of course, the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately, are not looking at any type of playoff scenario, but there are plenty of teams that are. And in the AFC, it is as crazy as ever, as only 4 teams currently have clinched a playoff spot, but there's not a single spot decided as yet. All 1 through 6 up for grab this week. We have 8 teams vying for 6 spots. Again, 4, we already know 4 teams. Where are they going to be? Who are they going to play? That's what's yet to be determined in the AFC. Let me talk to you about the 4 teams first who have clinched a playoff berth. That doesn't mean anything, though, because we do not know where the standings will lie come the end of Week 17. But so far, 4 teams clinched a playoff berth. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers. You got the New England Patriots, who are the only team at this point to win their division. New England Patriots win the AFC East for the 10th straight time. And then you have the Houston Texans. Those 4 teams are in the playoffs. We know that. Where are they going to be? We don't know. How are we going to find out? Great question. Great question. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to start with the current number 1 seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. Currently, the Chiefs are a game above New England, tied with the LA Chargers. However, the LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs, same division. Same division. So what needs to happen for them to keep the 1 seed? Well, obviously, if they win, bam, right? Easy scenario. They win. They're the number 1 seed no matter what. They have the tiebreaker with the Chargers. So even if the Chargers win their game, they get the number 1 seed. The Chargers in that scenario would be a wild card team. If the Kansas City Chiefs tie and the Chargers lose or tie, boom, again, number 1 seed. If the Chargers lose, and if the Patriots lose, and if the Texans lose, again, there you go, number 1 seed. If the Chargers lose, New England loses, or ties, Kansas City clinches at least a tie of the first seed with the Houston Texans. There would be a tiebreaker there. So those are the 4 scenarios for the Kansas City Chiefs to clinch the number 1 overall seed. Let's talk about what they need to do to clinch that AFC West division title, because a lot of what we just talked about, that's what they need to do, clinch the AFC West. Again, bam, easy scenario, win and you win the division, win, you get the number 1 seed. That's the easiest scenario. If the Chargers lose, then again, boom, you win your division, easy. If the Chargers lose and Kansas City ties, win your division. Okay, so those are the scenarios where you win the division. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, all 3 of those scenarios, of course, are what you look for. If you're a Chiefs fan, then they can clinch the West and a first-round bye with a Chargers loss and New England loss, a Chargers loss and a Houston loss, or a Chargers loss and a KC, and then KC will clinch at least a tie with strength schedule over Houston. And then, of course, again, it's all for Kansas City as easy as win and we're done. And there's no more discussion. You're the number 1 overall seed. Moving on to the number 2 seed, you're looking at the New England Patriots, who play the New York Jets this Sunday. New England clinches home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs with a win and a Kansas City loss and a Chargers loss. Okay? So even if Kansas City loses, the Chargers win. Chargers win the AFC West, and they get the first overall seed. But we'll talk about more like that in a minute, okay? We'll get down to the Chargers. We'll get down to them. But they clinch home field advantage throughout. New England clinches home field advantage throughout the playoffs. If they win and both the Chargers and Chiefs lose, they clinch a first-round bye simply by winning. You beat the Jets on Sunday, you get at least the number 2 overall seed. Okay, so that's what they need to do. Makes it that simple. If they tie and Houston loses or ties, again, you get the number 2 seed. A Baltimore loss or tie plus a Houston loss and a Tennessee loss or tie. And then, again, you get the number 2 seed. That's, of course, if they lose their game against the Jets. But, again, it's as simple as win, and you're at least guaranteed a bye week, the number 2 seed, okay? Houston Texans, currently the 3 seed. Currently the 3 seed right now. So what do they need to do to clinch the AFC South and get home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs? They still have a chance. They still have a chance to not only clinch the AFC South, which is as easy as win and you have it, but they also have a chance to get the number 1 seed. But it's a lot that has to happen in order for them to get that. But that's how crazy the AFC's been this year. Every team seems like they still have a fighting shot in it. It's crazy. So Houston would need to win. You need New England to have a loss or a tie. Kansas City and the Chargers both have to lose. And in that scenario, Houston gets the first overall seed. How does Houston clinch the AFC South Division title and a first round bye? Houston win, New England loss. That's, well, loss or tie. That's the easiest road. You take care of your business against Jacksonville, and New England loses to the Jets. That's the easiest way to get the first round bye. But there's other ways too. If Houston wins, Kansas City loses, and LA Chargers lose, bam, Houston's now going to be the number 2 seed, even if New England wins. Okay? So they're the number 2 seed. They at least get that first round bye. Houston tie, New England loss. Again, they get there. Indy, Tennessee tie, and a New England loss, plus a Baltimore in it, and then Houston will also get that first round bye. Houston clinches AFC South Division title with an easy Houston win. There are 2 teams that can pass Houston for the division title, Indianapolis and Tennessee. The issue here is they're playing each other this week. So more than likely, one of those teams is going to win. However, we've seen plenty of ties this year in the NFL. Let's not count that out. If Houston does not win and Tennessee and Indianapolis tie, Houston still wins the division. So Houston really would need a win to win the division. If they do not win the division, then obviously they're going to fall down to that wild card spot. Don't want to go into that wild card spot. You don't want to travel a lot. Rather be home in Houston during the playoffs. Don't want to go to like New England or another, maybe Baltimore, if you can prevent it. So that's their clinching scenarios. I would go Baltimore, who became the number 4 seed with their win plus a Pittsburgh loss this past Sunday. So the Baltimore Ravens will be playing the Cleveland Browns this week. Baltimore can clinch the AFC North and a first round bye with a win. If they win, New England and Houston both lose, and the Indy-Tennessee game does not end in a tie. So if Indy-Tennessee ends in a tie, they can't do it. But if Baltimore wins, New England, Houston loses, and then there is a winner in the Indianapolis-Tennessee game, they get a first round bye. Same scenario, again, Baltimore wins, and New England loses and Houston loses. Baltimore clinches a tie in the strength of victory tiebreaker with Houston, so they would then jump to that number 2 seed. Baltimore clinches AFC North title as simple as a Baltimore win. Win and you're done. Pittsburgh loses, you're in. A Baltimore tie and a Pittsburgh tie, Baltimore wins. Okay, again, ties are unlikely. Very unlikely you have 2 in the same week. But look at how this year's gone on so far. Wouldn't be surprised if some more crazy things happen this week, week 17. Lots on the line here, guys. Baltimore clinches a playoff berth with a tie and an Indy and Tennessee tie. Okay, so really they need to win just to get in the playoffs here. If they lose, Pittsburgh wins, they probably won't be in the playoffs in this scenario. So that's what they're looking for. Baltimore needs to beat Cleveland. Lost to Cleveland earlier this year, 9-6 in overtime. That was in Cleveland. This one's in Baltimore. We all remember last year, they just needed to win, and they were in. But then Tyler Boyd happened, and our Bills took that number 6 spot from them. They don't want that to happen again this year. Again, this one's at home, just like last year. So they'll be looking to get that win today, or this Sunday. So look for that. The Chargers have a lot of scenarios where different things can happen. Chargers play Denver this Sunday. The LA Chargers clinch the AFC West title and home field throughout the AFC playoffs with a Chargers win, Kansas City loss, or tie, or Chargers tie and a Kansas City loss. So Chargers need to win and then hope that the Chiefs lose. And then they are the number 1 overall seed. They win the division. They have home field throughout the playoffs. So that's really what they're looking at as far as playoff seeding. Again, they're already in the playoffs. They're at least going to be that 5 seed. But a lot riding on this game against Denver on Sunday. If they win and Kansas City loses, then they're the 1 seed. If they tie and Kansas City ties, or if they tie and Kansas City loses, they're still the 1 seed. So that's what they have to play for. The Colts, currently the 5 seed, are going to Tennessee. Again, this is a battle of the 5 seed, basically. Or maybe possibly of the division, depending on what happens in Houston, right? What happens to Houston, I should say, against the Jaguars. So if Houston loses, the winner of this game wins the division. Okay? So with an Indianapolis win and a Houston loss, Indianapolis clinches the division. Indianapolis clinches a playoff berth with a win, or a tie and a Pittsburgh loss, or a tie and a Baltimore loss. So that's what they would need just to clinch a playoff spot. Again, this game is basically for a playoff spot. Wouldn't be surprised if this game gets flexed into the Sunday night slot. Tennessee can clinch the AFC South, same situation. And they can actually get a first-round bye due to tiebreakers. Tennessee wins. Houston, New England, and Baltimore all lose. They get a first-round bye. Tennessee clinches the AFC South division with a win and a Houston loss, and Tennessee clinches a playoff spot simply with a win. Okay, so this Indianapolis-Tennessee matchup is huge implications for the playoffs. So, and then we go down to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 8th team. This is the team that people are worried for. Okay, their slot is not, obviously they're on the outside looking in right now, and that's hard to say if you're a Steeler fan. But you're on the outside looking in. What do you need to have happen to get in? Okay, Pittsburgh can clinch the AFC North title simply by a Pittsburgh win and a Baltimore loss, or a tie, or Pittsburgh ties and a Baltimore loss. So that's what Pittsburgh needs to do. First, you need to take care of business against Cincinnati, right? That's the first thing you have to do. Take care of business against Cincinnati, and then hope that Cleveland can upset Baltimore. They can clinch a playoff berth. But this is how slim their chances are to clinch a playoff berth minus the division. If they win their game and Indy, Tennessee ends in a tie, they then clinch a playoff spot. The 6th seed goes to Pittsburgh, and they would have their second, they would get the win. So they would see another tie, and that would really benefit them. But the tie to Cleveland, week 1 of the season, the loss to Oakland, these are the losses you have to look at and say, man, these are things we could have done better, and we'd be in a better position right now to make the playoffs. But what they need is they need to win. They need to hope Cleveland beats Baltimore on Sunday. That's basically what they're hoping for right now. But first thing you got to do is take care of business. So that is a run out of the AFC, the wild and crazy AFC playoff scenarios. I hope you were able to follow along with all of that. I was reading it from NFL.com, so I know it's accurate. But it's just crazy situations going on in the AFC. Again, 4 teams currently clinched: the Kansas City Chiefs, the New England Patriots, the Chargers, and the Texans. But no position has been decided, unlike in the NFC, where it's a little more clear. Still some room for some clarity coming in week 17, but a little more clear. We'll get into that in the next episode. I'll be posting that episode as well, so be sure to stay tuned. Thank you for joining my Believers Talk. My name is Joe. I just ran down the AFC playoff scenarios. I'll be doing the NFC, so you want to hit that subscribe button. Stay around because you want that notification bell. Leave a comment. Say, hey, I didn't understand this, or hey, you forgot this. More than welcome to do that. I make mistakes just like everybody else. Hopefully you liked this video. Hit that thumbs up button if you did. The NFL is far from over, even though it's just a week from being over. There's so much to be decided. And so I look forward to watching it. I hope you guys look forward to watching it too. I'll be live streaming the Buffalo Bills Miami Dolphins game right here, but I will also be keeping you up to date on each and every one of the playoff scenarios. So if you want to stay active, stay live here, watch me on Believers Talk, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And again, follow me on Twitter, like this video. I will see you soon. I'll get you updated on the NFC playoffs. But until then, go Bills.